fantastic. If you have other ones that you're joining or that you're doing, it's also a good thing. At this time, I think, we're called to be charitable. This is the time to reach out to many people as you can. And listen, charity begins at home. If you haven't touched the members of your family, if you have not reached out to the people in your household, please, I think that's our first port of call. Haven't said, hi, Remy Benson, how are you? Haven't said, let me introduce my guest today. My Egbon, Ola, you are my Egbon, in age. But, right, OlabELLA, I have known him for so long. We've been in the event industry for, almost as long as I've been in the event industry. I've known Ola. Ola is, first and foremost, as I introduce most of my guests, he's a child of God. Then Ola is also a son. He's a husband. He's a father. He's a businessman. He's an entrepreneur. And many caps that he wears. A servant of God, a humble servant of God. I did say now that Ola is older than me, but when you see us, you think the way he greets, he's so humble. I'm not saying that because I'm looking at your face. You know me. I can tell you off, as I can say it as it is. But no,
that's why I love you, man.
Yeah. So it's lovely to have you on. It's lovely to talk to you. How are you? How's everything? How's the family?
Wow, it's a great pleasure to be invited here. I've been following your blog and the blog for a while now, and honestly, bro, you are doing a great thing.
Thank you very much.
And may God continue to give you the strength, the wisdom.
Cheers.
Cheers, my brother. And it's been quite a journey. Like you highlighted at the beginning of the conversation, this is a global challenge for everyone. And some are getting hit more than others. But either way, we all have to pull through this and go through it. Me personally, I initially it hit me hard, and that's true. It was so hard that I almost went into depression.
Wow.
It was that hard. I'll give you an instance for those who know how my workflow goes. We get booked like 3-4 months in advance, fully booked. So from that January, our calendar was packed till end of April. And what that also means is people are paid, and then people are now calling to cancel. The money that's already gone to private school fees for my children, money that's going to mortgage, and they're not asking for it back. I'm going to go into this a bit later on, but it hit me because for someone like me, I've been working since I was 14, and I've been self-employed since I was 25, and I've never known not having money or getting source of income, and then that hit me. I'm not only not getting it, I'm having to pay some people back. It was a lot of money. Let's just leave it like that, Kunle. It was a lot. So it hit me hard, and I was like, okay, how am I going to sort this out? And then the new journey begins. And now I just give God the glory because I saw the other side of this pandemic, which is an eye-opener. It's an opportunity for us to see life from a different perspective. We've been doing hustle and bustle. Sometimes we just need to slow down. That's what has really, really helped me to slow down, to actually see certain things. And now I have a better relationship with my children, with my family. I've got a better relationship with God, through this. And now even post-COVID, I can see my business even going a lot higher because
Uncle, slow down, Uncle, slow down. We will get into all of that. For those who probably didn't hear my intro, or maybe I didn't say everything that I need to say about you, can you tell us a bit of what you do, or touch on all the things that you do in a nutshell?
Okay. My name is OlabELLA, and I'm the CEO of a company called OlabELLA Entertainment, Party Saints, and that's an entertainment company. I've been doing that for 21 years now, and I started an events hiring company, which is called OBC Events. So everything event styling, we hire and supply decorators with other things that they may need to style an event. So that's what we do. Yeah.
Did you just call yourself event decorator?
No, we supply event decorators. I'm not a decorator. I'm just we event hiring company. So things like letter lights, backdrops, all those heavy stuff we supply.
I've got quite a few things written down here as to what you do. You do supplies, you do dance floor, LED letters, you do mood lights. You do anything to do with lighting, electronics.
Lights.
You do DJing.
Yeah.
You're a party entertainer. You're an MC. You compare. You do Toastmaster. You know what? I found out that all these things are different. A Toastmaster, the master is different from an MC. Is different from a compare. It's different because I would say to you now, you know that I do these things too on the side, but it's not decorations is my main thing, but that's OlabELLA for you. Ola is, and when you see Ola at his game, doing his thing, the energy, wow. And he's one of the few that have been able to involve everybody. Remember the December party we had, the Winter Wonderland in Milton Keynes? Yeah. How you got grandpas and grandmas who had all along been, maybe because of the cold, they had been, and you were able to get everybody on the dance floor to participate in games. I mean, well done. That was brilliant. That was a good thing. So, multi-talented, somebody said. That's my wife. She said, you're multi-talented.
God.
We'll find out who's more multi-talented between me and you. No competition.
Moving on.
Moving on. So, I mean, Corona came, and you were talking about how it affected you. I was going to ask you, what was the first thing you did when this lockdown came on? What was the first thing you did? For me, I ate a lot. I slept a lot. In fact, my guts are almost popping out. I was just all the things that I didn't have time to do. You know that normally, if things were normal, this time of the year we will be so busy. And but because of the pandemic, I just it gave me the time to slow down. But again, how was it for you?
For me, first of all, honestly, I was in denial. That was the honest truth. I was initially in denial. It is well, the law is, it's we stay in China, it won't get here, all those things are like. And then when it really, really hit me was when the news now kicked in and the lockdown kicked in, and then we realized that, oh my God, work has stopped. Work has stopped, and then the next stage for me was now when people are now calling like, my guy, it looks like saying nothing, no.
Let's postpone.
What's happening now? And I realized that for some clients that collected full payment, I've got even part payment back, and it was hard for me. It was very, very hard. So it was probably the hardest time my entire life. Especially within the industry.
Ola, you say that, but one thing that I was looking at your Instagram page the other day, trying to, get, how you describe yourself and all that. And I found that everything has changed. You've now called yourself the virtual entertainer.
Yes.
I'm thinking to myself, this guy, from when to when? This thing just started, and you've been able to change the game, get into it, and how did that happen? We're still going to come to the changes in the event industry, but how did you,
Thank you.
change the game so quickly?
Thank you so much. And that follows on from that, the finances stuff, and I'm like, okay, I've got to feed these people. I've got family. I've got to still sustain. Although I was able to, and as a then, all the bounce back loans and things were not in the picture then, and the bills are still. We still need to pay the bills, So I was like, you know what, I got to think of something. Fortunately for me, the person that actually led me to this business, she's also my matron for my company, 21 years ago. She was the one that got me and helped me in. She just called me out of the blues, like, OlabELLA, Alpha. I was like, auntie, the Lord is good. And she just dropped something in my spirit that, look, why don't I take what I do normally online? I was like, online? I was like, impossible, And I started thinking, I was like, you know what? It's my daughter's 5th birthday. Let me use that as an experiment. And I did it. It was a huge hit. It was like, whoa. And it now awakened me to the niche that was in high demand that people don't even know. They don't even know that they need it until they experience it. I've been doing it for 4 weeks now, and I've done about 21 shows so far, and every single one. Today I've done 3 events, and I do a lot of charity events, 3 for charity, different churches today. And I could see the expressions on these children's faces that, even the adults that have been locked in, they were looking for an outlet. They were like all dancing and joining in subconsciously. And that is it. That is what we need to do. We need to look, if a door closes, I'm sure a window is open. We just need to find that window.
Preach it, brother. Preach it. If a door is open, there's a window somewhere if a door is locked, there's a window somewhere that is open. And if there's no window, make a hole in the wall. Do something, punch it open. Just do something. Think outside the box.
That's it.
I saw your Instagram thing, doing that online, that virtual thing. And I thought to myself, wow. I've always known you, Ola, I will say this to you. I've always known you as someone who does, you go the extra mile. I remember when I saw at a party you had the
Segway.
The Segway. I thought, oh my God. And that was years ago. That was like 2-3 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 3 years ago.
I hadn't seen it anywhere else. I thought, this guy, he just goes beyond. People may say, his own is too much. But you're on top of your game. People love what you do. You communicate with your clients. And, most importantly, Ola, you make money. And that's all that matters. Honestly, that's all that matters. So, hats off to you for what you do and how you do what you do. I'm going to go to the next question. You've talked about the virtual entertainment now. Now, that's the order of the day for you. But in the future of events, what do you first of all think the future of events will be like now? Do you think that virtual has come to stay? Do you think that virtual is for now? We will, come back to, definitely we pray to come back to normal. But then, what is the place of virtual entertainment in your own eyes?
In my own eyes, I can tell you now for a fact, and take my word for it, this is a new trade that is coming to stay. Because it's a platform. I'll give my own reasons why. All right. First of all, the virtual allows you to connect with anyone around the world under budget.
So it gives you a wider scope.
And you're spending less. You know, so it gives people that think, oh, I can't afford a big party to, you still have a great party, and without having to spend getting a venue or do that, and you don't have to buy plane ticket for them to come and join you. It's opened that avenue, which means that after COVID, post-COVID, it will still be an option if people want it. So for events, I think virtual has a huge place to play. It cannot replace the venue or on-site deliveries, but it's an alternative and an option that definitely will stay.
Absolutely. One of the things that when we were talking, I think it was last week, we were having a chat, and you said to me that one of the things you do now is, you go the clients would hire you, you go and sing for them, some sort of entertainment at their door, still observing social distance. Okay, so tell me about that. How did that come about?
Well, that was, I have to tip my hat to a company called Surprise Memories or something. I'm sorry. They just called me.
I hope they're not watching.
So they called me Surprise 22 Memories or something. So what they do is they make hampers and cakes. All right. So they deliver it to clients in their houses. But they now wanted to collaborate to take it to another level. And that was when they got me involved to actually, because, apparently I'm one of the most popular entertainers within the Afro-Caribbean.
Look at you.
So they just wanted me to do that. So I just got there, delivered it, sang, did a little game, didn't spend more than 5 minutes, collect my 150, have a nice day, and we still observe social distancing. So that opened my eyes like, this is even another option that is available. But it also opened my eyes in the sense that for it to be fully possible, we as Black people, we need to collaborate a lot more. Collaboration is
key right there
within this season and the future. And that's part of my prayer, that we can actually work together for a greater future.
I'm glad you said that. Collaboration, we can't overemphasize the need for people to come together, for people to work together. I know that our culture, is such that we feel that there's competition. We feel that the other person is my competitor, so I shouldn't let them see what I'm doing, or I can't collaborate with them. But I think, to run faster, there's a difference between running fast and running faster, quicker than you should be doing. I think that it's important that people come together, find your strengths, find your weaknesses, find somebody in the same industry or in a relative industry who you can, lean on. I work with a lot of other vendors, I don't want to mention names in case I miss out somebody but I work with a lot of vendors, a lot of other decorators. We're decorators all together. Ideally, we will be like, no, we can't work together. But, in fact, I've had a situation where a client came to me because one of the decorators they had gone to meet, had not responded to them because of a situation. And, when they told me that they had gone to meet that person, I said to them, look, that is like my blood. That's family to me. I can't take that on. You have to wait. In fact, I assure you that this person will get back to you. And I quickly got back to that person to say, look, your clients have come, but I knew what the issue was. So, and if we have to be able to do that, to think outside the traditional way of doing things and just, lift each other up. And that brings me, this question was going to be at the very bottom, but I'll just ask you now, mentorship, what's your view on mentorship, especially in this kind of industry that we're in? I know that. Anyway, let me give you the opportunity to answer the question first. Tell me what your thoughts are.
First of all, I don't joke with mentorship. I mean, I don't. I actually don't. You know, all my mentors.
I'm one of your mentors, aren't I?
Of course now. You know now. Okay, but I'll come to that.
You tell me that I'm not. I'll just cut you off. I'm kidding you.
But another one of my mentors that I need to mention, and this guy, you know, is my go-to guy anytime I'm like in a jam, especially in this, because in this kind of industry, it's hard for you as well to just go to anyone to discuss, especially certain critical things, and you know that they will listen to you and in confidence,
give you an honest
opinion, if you know what I mean, without having to patronize you. Say, wow, OlabELLA, you are the one. You want to share, shut up, look, listen. And there are people that are quite renowned in the industry. I got to say this: Balloon Inspirations, Topa Bolude is one of my key mentors as well.
Uncle Tope.
Yeah.
I've known Tope. In fact, I knew him before he knew me back in Nigeria because he happens to be, he was classmates with my brother-in-law. And so he was one of the few people that I contacted when I got to this country to, you know, because my brother-in-law insisted then that, you know, this is somebody that does what you do. And, you know, so I remember that I spoke to him, but, you know.
Yeah, I mean, and also, he's not even doing what I do. So your mentor doesn't necessarily have to be in the same field as you, but for him, he's in the same industry, and he has a wider experience than a lot of people even know. He's also a professional counselor, so that benefit is there. But coming back to the question itself, having a mentor helps you to have somebody to be accountable to, especially within the industry. And sometimes you may think you know, but it's nice to have somebody that is actually shadowing you, like, actually, Dad, I think you need to take that video down. I think what that comment you said, or wow, you said that's actually quite good. I can connect you with this person, try and send this to this person. I think it will help you. Those are the jobs of mentors who will help you to guide you and channel your productivity towards the right direction.
Okay, but that's one way of mentoring. That's like downward mentoring, when somebody's above, you know, and they're mentoring you from a position of advantage. Yeah. But how about, you know, do you believe in mentoring from below?
Oh yeah, definitely.
This discussion came. Michael's Special Functions is on, and this discussion came up when we had our chat, and you know, we both said that mentoring is not just one way. I say that because I've been privileged to mentor some people, and while mentoring them as well as training, you know, and I'm going to come to that. There's a difference between mentoring and training. Or, you know, I'm going to try and find out what you think. While mentoring people, I found that there were things that I was learning from them. There were things that they were opening my eyes to that I would normally not see. And hence, you know, they say two heads are better than one.
Oh, yeah.
So I find that mentoring is not just, you know, upward, downwards. It's also from, you know, downwards, going upwards. What's your opinion on that?
I mean, you hit the nail on the head there. From the mentoring downwards in that sense. I mean, I have a couple of groups I belong to, and I wouldn't want to say that I mentor them, but I mean, we have an association of children's entertainers where most of the entertainers were all there, and we share and support each other. And there are loads of people that are just coming into the industry that call me privately, like, okay, OlabELLA, how do I do this? And I pour myself into them, you know, to give them an edge to take the trade or the ministry, as I call it, the children's ministry.
You guys, you've seen my notes, because you are touching on issues that
we are one. Have you forgotten? We are one. My mentor. When I grow up, I'm going to be like you. You have no choice.
I beg, don't kill me before my time. Carry on.
So I think it's quite important. And Memories for You said something right there that...
Yeah, I was just checking what people are saying.
People are saying that, being a mentor is also an avenue for you to learn from your mentees.
From your mentee.
Like you right said. So it's a two-way thing. So as I'm giving, I'm also getting, because it teaches me humility as well. And that's one of the key factors that has probably helped me throughout my career. Is not for me to be too big for God to carry, and not, OlabELLA. But I still remain, and I remember my roots, and I don't allow, that to get to me. So yeah, I think, we need to be open, and black people need to be more receptive to be mentored.
I honestly don't think that you can go far if you don't have a mentor. I honestly believe in mentorship. I believe that you need, as you said, you need someone to be accountable to.
Yeah.
You need someone who can speak to you,
who
can call you to order. But you also need someone who inspires you.
Yeah.
And inspiration doesn't come only from your field. In fact, most times, if the person is in the same field as you, you will think the same way.
Yeah.
But if the person is outside of your field, they are able to see the things that you in the field will not see. So, again, you can have several mentors. And Ola, like I asked you earlier, the difference between training and mentorship. This question came up at my last IG thing, but we didn't have time to answer it. What do you think is the difference between a mentor or mentoring someone and then training someone?
I think training is more short-term. Mentoring is a long-term thing.
Okay.
All right. I also think that training someone is more of a specific knowledge transfer. Mentoring is you actually having more of a wider...
It's a wider...
knowledge approach to actually passing on your knowledge onto someone. And for training, you need a scheme of work or a plan. There's no plan for mentorship.
It's whatever comes.
It's what comes from your heart that you know, based on your own personal experience or your own knowledge in relation to what the mentee needs at that point in time. And anytime I speak to, because I've got about 10 people I'm personally mentoring at the moment. And anytime we talk, it's just from my heart. And I don't even have a plan. It'll just come, I just say as it is. And I say it, and I don't even remember, I say what's in my heart. I don't need to remember it. It's, whatever you want to take from me, take it. It's from my heart. I've forgotten, what I said. And
fantastic. At this point, I just want to encourage our viewers, if you want to ask questions about whatever we've said or, anything else, please feel free to. There's a question box at the bottom. I don't know if you can see it, but, if you can click on the question box and ask us a question or, make a comment in the comment box, we would appreciate it. Now, moving on. What does one need, Ola, to be an MC or to be an entertainer? And this is for people who might be thinking of getting into, entertainment, doing what you do. I know that you're a firm believer that the heavens is big enough for the birds to fly. So you're not one to hold back because somebody wants to, do what you do. So, but what do you think, or what would you say someone needs to get into, doing what you do? And I'm not talking of your energy or tenacity, not all that.
That one is God-given.
Yeah, that one is, you know what they say? Excuse my Yoruba, abinibi, not ability.
Okay, I mean, honestly though, this has been my own Bible because I train entertainers as well. The first thing I believe you should have to become a successful entertainer or successful in anything at all is passion. You got to have a passion for it. Don't look because there's a lot of money coming from it, or the person is doing it and they're making a lot of money. That's why you want to go into it. If that's the reason, then that's the wrong reason. You got to have, first of all, have passion, because if you don't have the passion for it, after a couple of months, years, you're going to get tired.
Burn out.
You're going to get burnt out. I mean, I've been going on for like 21 years doing this, and I still feel like, I still want...
You're still gingered every day.
You know what I'm saying? Every day, you know what I'm saying? So passion is number one. The next thing is vision.
Vision.
You got to have a vision of what or how you want to deliver, within the industry. I never looked at one entertainer to actually do what I did. Not one. But I had a vision of how I think it should be delivered. From what I've seen on TV, from how I relate with my children and other kids. I was like, oh, this is what it takes. So I had a plan, and over time I worked on my, art, my craft, and fine-tuned it. Learned from myself and kept on getting better and moving on. So the vision, you got to have a vision.
Right.
You can't just be doing anything anyhow. You've got to have a clear vision of where you're going. And thirdly, your association. You got to surround yourself with the right people, guys. People that are not adding to you within the industry, you don't need them. People that will tell you, OlabELLA, you can't do it. You don't need them. Because if I listened to those people, I can tell you for a fact now, I won't be here today.
Ola, that brings me to this question. Sorry to cut you.
Sure.
Don't worry, don't give out all the tips. If they want to know more, they should come and take training from you. But anyway, it brings me to this discussion, this topic of stereotypes. You mentioned something now, and you said to me that you just made a statement now that if you had listened to people who, the naysayers, the people who were saying to you, don't do it, you won't be where you are. Now you are one of the UK leading entertainers. Right. I remember when I started doing what I do, it was a matter of a guy that does decorations. When I did entertainment, and there were these people that would say, oh, can't you find a professional job, And those challenges came. Thank God for the family that I come from. I could not have had a better mother who saw my talent and who thought, you know what, I'll support you. In fact, she spotted my talent before I even knew that I had it. So she used to push me to go and do things in the house, rearrange the house. And, one of my businesses is interior decor. And that's where it started from. And, going back to stereotypes, what challenges have you faced in your situation? One of the things you do is filled with women. Party entertainment. You are probably the only guy that I know, apart from me when I do it every now and again. But, I'm not talking about me now. So you're probably the only guy that I know that does it. But what you do is definitely different from what women do. And all the women out there are fantastic.
Yeah.
They're so good. Oloxi has been in the business for God knows how long. She's one of the leading entertainers, and what's her name? Bow Wow. So many people that do brilliant jobs. But you stand out, maybe because you're a guy, I don't know. But what have been the challenges that you have faced?
Okay, first of all,
the only guy in the village.
Well, I got to say this now. I'm not the only guy in the entertainment industry.
Okay.
Because I'm mentoring some as well, and I've seen some in the industry. But I've been doing this for like 21 years, and when I started then, there was no guy. The only guy you will find are the white magician or clowns in the Caucasian sector. But within the Afro-Caribbean, there was none that I know. There might be, but I knew none then. But the greatest challenge I do get then was was, and for several years following that, I would get to an event or someone's house or their garden or a venue, and you will see those eyes. You know those eyes that they will use to look at you. Okay? And it will say, and some of them also say it, like, okay. But because of the way I look, they don't know I'm a Yoruba. They probably think I'm Jamaican or whatever. And they'll start saying all this stuff in Yoruba, to, to pull me down. But the luck or blessing I had then was I believed in myself. So by the time I even finish entertaining, they are the ones, those are the ones talking, are the ones on the dance floor jumping up and down. And then I'm now speaking Yoruba, and she omodupe. And they're like, so you heard what we said.
Fantastic. So you turn every challenge into a positivity. You don't wallow in the fact that, oh, they put me down. You don't let it affect what you're about to do. You just stay focused in what you want to deliver. And, it gives you a platform to let them see, who you are, what you're about, and, to deliver your work brilliantly. That's, you couldn't have said it better. Honestly, you could. I obviously, because there are not many. Now there are a lot of guys in decor, but when I started 26 years ago, there was no guy really doing decor. So the challenge was, it should be rainy, but I know why I stand out in the industry, because when I do drapes, it's totally different, so I like you said, you must find your strength, you must ignore the naysayers, and you just have to stay focused.
I mean, I got to say this at this point, shout out to DJ Abbas. He's also one of my mentors out there. And he was one of the people that just really got my head screwed on that. Look, stay focused and stay true to who you are. There's a niche within what you do, and you are on the right path. And when he told me that from someone like that, it just makes you realize that, look, the distractions will come. There will be people that don't even have an understanding of your vision. And that's why it's very important for you to actually know where you are going, or if you don't, have mentors that will guide you based on their own experience or their perspective of what they see of you, to tell you are doing right, you're doing wrong, and you listen, because you can always learn. There's always room for improvement. People say, "Oh, I'm still learning. I'm still learning." If I tell you how much time I spend on the internet, scouring and getting ideas, I've got my book here. I'm writing my ideas in, and I have to keep on reinventing myself.
Definitely. So absolutely. So that strikes a chord in me. I find that what I do is not just it's not just decor to decorate an event. It's not just to put together an event. For me, I see it as part of my ministry and my satisfaction. What gives me joy. It's not just the money. It's good to get well paid, but we all know that sometimes what you get paid is nothing compared to the amount of work you put into what you do. So, like you said, there's passion, but I also find that for me, there's a ministry there. When I see my clients happy, when they get to the venue and they're elated, they're happy, that for me is satisfaction, because I know that there is definitely recommendation coming from there. And I tell you something, about 70% to 75% of my clients are from recommendation, not from Instagram. A few people come from Instagram, online search and all that. But I'm sure it's even more than 75%. So that tells me that when I'm doing what I do, and I do it well, I'm touching souls. My wife traveled to, I can't remember where she went to, but she went abroad. And she brought this fridge magnet back for me. And it said, some people look for beautiful places. some other people look for places and make them beautiful. And that thing has stayed with me ever since she bought me that thing. That look, it's not so much. It's good to get a good venue, a lavish venue and all that. But whatever venue you get, if you're able to turn it around and bring alive the vision of your clients, you have done ministry, honestly. And I am an advocate of simplicity, beauty in simplicity. And I think, somehow we bring the beauty of God into what we do. Anyway, I'm not going to preach. This is not...
No. Honestly, before you change the subject, I just want to, add to what you've said. First of all, what we do is a ministry, and I think we were discussing earlier on, it was yesterday or today, and I was telling you that, look, what I do, I may be a children's entertainer, but I use my platform as a ministry because I affect lives. I don't just go there and just do anything. Everything I do is like a puzzle or jigsaw that fits in to achieve a bigger picture. And I leave those children, even though they don't know that they've learned something, they've actually taken quite a bit away from it. And if nothing, I've affected their mental health. I've affected their emotions in a positive way. So we are touching their lives using what we do, whether it's a decorator, entertainer, DJ. We have a platform to make an impact. That's why what we do is a ministry. And yes, you are an artist. Once you reach that level, you become an artist because you are creating beautiful, beautiful stuff from the gift God has given you.
Amen. Amen to that. Amen to that. Because you've said something about children. I'm not really following my notes. I'm trying to, flow with you. You said something.
Talk. I am here.
Okay, so you said something about children, right? Now, remind me. I want to talk about the language thing you do, the Yoruba language.
Okay, yeah.
But I'm gonna come back to that. Now, you talked about children. I've seen you at events, Ola, where your wife is probably at the decks. Yeah. Your daughter, I've seen your daughter DJ. I've seen your daughter help you do entertainment and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think to myself, this is something. Now, I'm not going to share my thoughts with you. I just want to hear from you why you feel, why it's obviously you're building it to become a family business. So what's the importance of doing that?
Well, I mean, the reason why I brought them on board is not more, it is a family business, but what we do we are preparing for the posterity of our future. And we have to leave a legacy within these children, within what God has given unto us. We have to pass it on to someone, and who better to pass on the gifting and the knowledge and the passion than our children, So I give them the gift. It's not up to them what they want to do with it in the future, but at least the possibility to carry on with the legacy of what we have built. The greatest and the worst thing we could do as people within this industry is to die with the knowledge that we've built and not give it and not pass it on to someone else.
This keeps coming up.
That's the worst thing we could do.
Yeah, it keeps coming up. I remember this same thing. Michael mentioned the same thing on Wednesday when he said that, they say that the graveyard is the richest place because you've got so many talents buried under. And the reason why I actually pulled you up on that, why I brought that up is, I believe so much in legacy. I believe in, building a brand, but building the brand, within your own circle, within, maintenance. And one thing that I find, I apologize if I'm going to offend anyone with what I'm about to say, but I find that in the Nigerian community where we come from, we do not have a maintenance culture. The older generation don't necessarily pass on things to the younger ones. And even when they do, their kids come on at a later stage, or they come on as, a big boss who comes in to control stuff. Now, you have encouraged your children. You're not forcing them, but you've given them that opportunity to learn the ropes from the bottom, from the nitty-gritty, from carrying speakers and carrying dance floor and dancing and doing the wiggle, doing all that. Now, by the grace of God, when your company becomes a major entertainment company, it is already, but you're still going to go higher and further than where you are. It will be a travesty if that's when your children come into play in the industry. But now they know the ropes, they know everything. And for me, there couldn't be any better, greater legacy that we can leave for our children. Last week I said to my wife that, by God's grace, we're believing God for our own children. We're all children. But, I said, I can't wait until, for the day when I'm going to work and my children are with me.